Okay, we are live. Okay, here we go. All right. Hello, team. We are, we have the privilege of having Christine Gordon here, FNP, who is going to talk a little bit about her side hustle. As you know, this is Side Hustles for Advanced Practice Nurses. We talk about all things side hustles, how to get started, questions and concerns you might have, what other advanced practice nurses are doing, what is out there, and some tips and strategies of how to get started, even when it seems somewhat overwhelming. So welcome, Christine, welcome to you. Thank you for being here today. I'm so happy to interview you and to learn more about you. So if you would start off and just tell us kind of a little bit about yourself, your background, and we'll go from there.
Okay. I am a divorced mom of 3, and I relocated from Brooklyn, New York to South Carolina 27 years ago. Yes, and I love it in South Carolina. I am a family nurse practitioner specializing in infectious disease, primarily HIV. It is my passion. I love working with the patient population, and I've been doing it for probably 31 years now.
Wow.
Yes, so I love working with HIV.
Good for you. Okay. What now? So you are, are you inpatient or outpatient?
Outpatient.
Outpatient. And then, so do you have, did you have to do any additional like programs, certifications, fellowship for that?
Yes. So the funny thing is I started working in HIV in the late 80s, early 90s when the epidemic was first beginning. So I kind of gotten the experience from the beginning to now. I am certified through the AIDS Nurses Association. A lot of people don't realize that there is a certification that you can get for nursing, for providing care to people with HIV. But I did that initially in 2002. And now there are programs with Rutgers University. Duke has a program for HIV certification. So it is a lot more popular and, well known to get certifications in this specialty.
Okay. Do you guys have full practice authority in South Carolina?
No, unfortunately not.
I know, it's same here in Ohio. We're going to keep pushing. I mean, because that's about all we could do. So, okay. So tell us, what is your side hustle?
So my side hustle has nothing to do with nursing, which is kind of funny, but I am a vision board party facilitator. That's one of them.
Ooh,
yes.
Okay.
And I'm a personal shopper.
Oh, yes, I remember this conversation. Okay. Like Christmas shopper.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So how did you tell us more? How did you start? Like how did you, which one did you start first?
The personal shopper, of course.
Okay.
So, yes, I love to shop, right? So I can go in a store and I can just walk around. You're in a place with all these other people, but yet you can be by yourself. Because I talk to people all day. I don't want to talk to anybody later, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I can, I just love to shop. And my kids tell me, Mom, please stay out the store. But I would go in the store and then people say, where did you find that? How did you find that? And I'm like, oh, if you go in the store enough, you get to know when the trucks come in, when there are sales. And then you think, oh, that's a cute gift for a friend, or, that would be nice to put together for someone. So I started, just kind of slow. And then neither of my 3 girls like to shop. So, right, they didn't get the shopping gene.
Financially, that's probably a good thing, but
it is. So my oldest would say, Mom, can you pick up such and such for so-and-so? Or can, somebody has a party or a birthday, can you pick up a gift? So I said, okay. So I started like that, buying gifts and putting like baskets together. She had a friend that she went to college with, and she hates to shop too. So what she did, I said, if you give me your list, I will shop for everything on your list. and I'll put it all together and wrap it for
Oh, that's
cost.
worth it. That's worth the whole kit and caboodle.
Yes. So I charge a percentage of the amount. She gives me her budget, tells me how many people she has to shop for, what ideas she has, and then I take it from there. And so anything that's left over from her budget, I get to keep plus the percentage.
Ooh, excellent. So incentivized to get some deals, find some good
That's right.
deals. Okay.
That's right.
Good for you. Wait, so how, so your first client, so to speak, was your daughter's friend?
Yes.
Okay. And then is this something that you do around the holidays or kind of you
So
just like,
primarily, right, I do it around the holidays. I usually, from October to the beginning of January is usually my peak season.
okay.
Um, so that's the busy time. I'm out there looking for deals. The stores are starting to stock Christmas things. So I'm just picking up things. I listen to what people say, what's trendy. I'm watching the news, watching social media. So I have a room in my house that my daughter's called the gift room. And there's a special closet that is always stocked full of things. So I can go in there anytime and pull out some things and put gifts together, baskets and everything, and just go from there. But the holidays are really my peak season.
Okay. So, and how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this about 4 years now.
Okay, all right. I'm just looking to see whether or not we have any questions or anything. And if you are on with us and you have some questions for Christine, please do not hesitate to say hello. And also, hold on, I'm going to pull this up here. And also to ask your questions if you have them. All right, good. Okay, so tell me this. Okay, so you started doing it for one, and then you were like, well, I'm gonna scope out the deals. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm,
keep get some of the gifts, keep the
mm-hmm,
gift, do some baskets. Then you created essentially, which sounds like an incentive plan so that you get a percentage. So you make like a base cut, which is good. And
right,
then you additionally save off of any of the deals that you get based off of the
right,
budget that's given to you. Okay.
exactly.
And this is mainly done around the holidays. I'm
Mm-hmm,
just doing a recap for those of you if you've just joined or tuning in. Okay, all right. And you love it because you spend time talking to patients all day and you love to shop. And so it allows you to kind of have some quiet time, get a good bargain hunt,
yes.
do the deal, and also do shopping, which you enjoy.
And it's not with my money. It's retail therapy without my money.
Now that there is a joy in that I'm sure many people do not know about, right? Like spending
Right.
money, it's just not your own money that you're spending. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
okay. Okay. Um, all right. So you do this around the holidays. Okay. So this is your side shopper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then tell us about your other side hustle.
So my other side hustle is I am a vision board party facilitator.
Okay.
So that's a little different also, right? So of course, as a nurse practitioner, I didn't start out that way. I actually started out as a nursing assistant. I got my LPN in high school, then I got my RN, then I went on and got my master's, and then I did postmaster's certificate for my FNP. So you got to have goals, and I'm always big about having goals and writing them down and moving forward. So I started by talking to my friends about what goals they had and about doing vision boards. And so now we make that an annual part of our girls' trip is to do a vision board. They started putting it out on social media, the pictures from parties that we've had and things of that nature. And people kept saying, wow, I've never heard of a vision board party, or I like to do that. I need to do that. And so they started telling their friends to get in touch with me, and it grew from there. And so now what I do is have vision board parties. And so I would rent the space. People contact me via Facebook. I rent out a party space. I provide all of the materials. I charge a flat fee for each participant.
Okay.
And then we go from there. And it's a fun time for all. I make it interesting, provide all the magazines. We do it old school. You know, there are some ways you can do it on your phone and all that, but let's go old school. Let's go back to the magazines that you have sitting around your house, and let's just, do something with that too, right?
We're talking scissors, glue sticks, tape, spark
Yes.
board, yeah, foam boards. Yeah. I did one actually in oh, it must have been early spring or like late spring of this year. No, you know what? It must have been before COVID hit, actually.
Hmm.
It was even fall of last year, but it was about 2020 and planning out kind of the year that you want to have it. And interestingly, I use the vision boards with my clients. I have them create one.
Right.
And I went to an event that was a vision board party in essence, and paid a fee, just like, it sounds like you do.
Hmm.
And the gal who organized it, provided all the supplies and materials, tons and tons of magazines. And then we sat around and I didn't know many of the people, but it was okay. There was a little bit of networking to do, which is nice. And it was kind of nice to cut out things and like put them together, and
Right.
like that physical touch and that sensation of just
Exactly.
like, oh, I see it,
Yes.
it can be so powerful. Okay.
And I not last year, year before last, I had a friend contact me, and she said she wanted to do something different for her family. So instead of getting gifts for her birthday, she wanted to give them something. So she contacted me to do a vision board party.
Mm.
So she rented the space, she provided the food, the music, and the games we played were geared towards her, like how well do you know Natalie? And we played games and they won gifts that I bought during my personal shopping time. And we did vision boards and they thought it was the best thing. And I've had clientele grow from that as well.
Good for you. And then how many times a year would you say you do this type of event?
So again, this is my peak season is around the same time as shopping. So usually it starts about November planning out when I'm going to have events. So around the end of the year. So before the new year starts, people like to start thinking about what they're going to do for the new year. So maybe around mid-November to the end of January.
Okay. And then and how did you get started with the vision board act again?
I don't even know. I just started. It was something that my friends and I talked about, something that I always participated in, I would do, and just started talking to my friends about it. And it just became something that I loved to do and found that I was good at. And we just continued it.
Do you do any group care through for your HIV patients at all?
So I incorporate that as well into like some of our support groups, have our patients developing goals. And that's been really helpful and therapeutic for them as well.
Yeah, one of the programs that as a centering pregnancy facilitator, we and a director of our centering pregnancy program at UH where I worked, we collaborated with oh, out of Henry Ford in Detroit, the Women's Initiative Network, I think, and the WIN Network, which is a like extraordinary program
Hmm.
created by a couple of founded by and created by midwives at Henry Ford Benefit Center. And it incorporates group care and very similar to centering pregnancy or the centering, model of care, which is group care based around a curriculum. There's, a lot of peer learning that occurs, but their intervention was developing a curriculum, talking a lot about things for pregnancy, but also incorporating with the help of community health workers, the vision, planning. And if I
Right.
were to, what's important to me in my life and what
Hmm.
can I, commit to doing? And then to have that accountability and the support
Yes.
to really along the course of the program, make it happen. It's a phenomenal program. but it's interesting. Sometimes I think when we do group care, and I learned even from some of the coaching groups that I do, like group care, it's a great skill to repurpose
Mm-hmm.
in a new setting and to monetize it,
Right.
which is good. Okay. All right.
And I also, once I have the vision board party, I commit to following up with the participants at 3, 6, 9, and 12 to see how they did, you know, in progress to succeeding with their goals, or just motivating them to make sure they're still on track. They haven't forgotten about it. They have their vision board where they can see it. Just those things, just following up.
Yeah, that's good. Good for you. Do you ever anticipate taking kind of these side hustles and growing them to a point where you would consider an exit out of clinical practice, or
I think about it, but I love my patients and I love what I do.
you?
One of my daughters asked me the other day, when are you planning to retire? And I said, that's a good question. I don't know. And she said, well, if I hit the lottery, and you could retire, would you? And I said, I don't think I would. You
Mm,
know, I would probably cut my hours, but I think I would still work.
yep.
But I would love to do this full time. It's such fun, um, just to see the smiles on people's faces, and just to see them light up, when they think about or they talk about goals, or helping them realize that they can make goals that are achievable and help them to reach those goals. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's part of the reason I do coaching work. I mean, I love it,
Mhm.
right? Like we focus on building the vision and then
Right.
creating a path to the vision. And I mean, that's life changing for some people to
Hmm.
just sit and say, what do I want?
Right.
Like, what does it look like? What does it feel
Hmm.
like? What does it smell like? Who is around me?
Yes.
It's a powerful exercise to be able to do, and certainly a skill to be able to facilitate it. So good for you.
Yes.
Um, all right. If you had to give kind of one piece of advice to another advanced practice nurse in terms of starting a side hustle, what would it be?
I would probably say, find something that you love to do. Of course, I would think that you are an advanced practice nurse because you love that part of your life and that career, but there's more to life than work. So find something else that you love, and research the area, research the market for what you love to do, and see how you can make it profitable for yourself.
I completely agree. We were just talking about, I did last week or 2 weeks ago, a series of 5 videos about, the 5 easiest ways to get going with a side hustle. And one of them is, make it easy. Like what's easy for you, right?
Right,
Like, if shopping is easy for you, you can monetize that. And
right.
how? Well, Christine does it. So we
Yes.
have a case study right here in front of us, which is great. Um, but yeah, not having that stressful piece of
Mm,
trying to do the extra bit that, to make the money that,
right,
and personally as a maximizer, I'm always looking for how can I make the money and have fun and learn, and
right.
develop professionally. And so I think hitting a lot of those buckets just makes it easier,
Yes.
to keep doing it. And
Mhm.
you're right to monetize it. Okay. All right. What else? Here, where can our other advanced practice nurses, if they were interested in either becoming a personal shopper or if they are interested in creating some sort of a group vision board activity, where can they find you? How can they reach out to you?
Okay. At this time, I don't have a website. I am thinking about that. Of course, 2020 has brought a lot of changes with COVID and everything. So I'm in the process of rethinking how I can continue, all of these things that I like to do in the era of COVID. So lately, instead of like Christmas shopping, of course, because it hasn't been the holidays, I've been a shopper to find all of the products that people are looking for, like the Lysol, the Microban, the Clorox wipes. So
Okay.
I've been doing great with, finding that, and just stocking up and providing that. Now, I haven't monetized that because I would feel bad about monetizing that, but just making sure that other people in the healthcare field have those supplies that they need. So I've been doing a little bit of that, but just trying to think of some different ways in the era of COVID of what's my next step.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no, I agree. I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually meant to ask you like how, if, you've done work that's essentially, in person, it's out in closed areas, in COVID, what does that look like? But you did answer that. You just answered. That's perfect. Okay. All right. Okay.
So your
Well,
question was, how can people get in touch with me?
yeah.
So I can provide you with my contact information. I will give you my phone number here. It
Okay.
is 803-295-8910, but I'll also list it so people can go back to it. My email address is Gordon, Gordon, CL, the number 1, at atlanticbb.net. I know that's very long, so I'll make sure I put that in the comments so everybody will have that.
Okay, good. I was just thinking too, what if you did like a subscription service where you could put together a, like a, I don't know, PPE or a, Lysol kind of like home cleaning basket that you could give. And then you could, you could say like, it's a basket, I get the deals, but you still have then the fee for essentially putting together the basket.
Right.
But or to do like even a subscription service where you have people sign up, you say, it's $15 a month and I'll send you, like a personal Amazon subscribe and save.
That is awesome. And I think I'm going to take you up on that and just do that.
Yeah. I mean that, because, if you
my
can't.
daughter, I don't know if you can hear me, my screen looks frozen. My daughter is also in the healthcare field. And so she has lots of friends who are also in the healthcare field. So I have been able to send them and provide them with the necessary PPE as well. And so I actually did ship something to Tennessee for someone. So I think that is great. I'm going to make myself a note about having that subscription service and doing that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Good for you. Happy to have you and to talk about this and give you another idea and to know someone who I can go to if we run out of Lysol wipes. So it's good. It's good. All right. I think that's good. We'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much, Christine. It was so nice to have you and learn more about what you're doing. And thank you for the work that you do, not only as an FNP, but also in the global fight against HIV/AIDS. And
Thank you so much.
I mean, what a phenomenal resource you are to the nursing community and to the patient community. Thank you for doing that all in the time of COVID during a pandemic.
Yes.
And thank you for sharing all this information about your side hustles, because there's probably someone today who is like, oh, I could do that.
Yes.
And you probably changed somebody. So I'm grateful to you. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time.
All right. Okay, guys. So you will find information from Christine in the comments. Check it out. Christine, do you do Facebook Messenger too?
I do.
So can people send you a Facebook message?
Certainly.
Okay.
Certainly.
So send her a Facebook message directly if you have it. And then Christine, I don't know if your side hustles up in the post on non-clinical side hustles, but if it's not up there, you can also put it up in that string. It's you go into the announcement section, find it, and please add it to the list.
Okay, sure will.
And if you are watching and you're like, wait, what's that? There's several announcements that are different posts. They're all side hustles, non-clinical side hustles, clinical side hustles, work from home side hustles, and teaching side hustles. And so everybody who comes into the group can put in his or her side hustle, and then it's a repository. So if you need an idea or you're short on like, what do I do? What can I do? That's a great list of all of the things that other advanced practice nurses are doing. So, so go there. So, all right. And send Christine a DM if you have questions, or a PM or whatever. And thank you. We will
Thank
see
you.
you soon. Thanks, Christine. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.